Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good amendment. Please vote yes. Mr. Speaker, not scaling out or terming these fee increases, which are really tax increases on people who hunt and fish in this state, will not have any effect one way or the other on access to hunting and fishing. Mr. Speaker, people will hunt and fish. We are asking them to participate in this licensure system so that the state can do its part to manage our wildlife populations and our fisheries effectively. It's a quid pro quo. It's a bargain, Mr. Speaker. And we need to be careful about managing the state's portion of that bargain effectively. By terming the increase in these taxes on the people who hunt and fish in the state, we are giving the state the chance to show it will do a better job of managing our wildlife populations and our fisheries. That's critical to maintaining the trust of the people who hunt and fish in this state. This amendment does more than it might seem to do. It's not just a fiscal matter. It's a matter of reestablishing the trust and goodwill between the people and the state on issues of hunting and fishing. Please vote yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. What this amendment tries to do is acknowledge that if we're going to raise this tax on the people who hunt and fish in this state, we should direct the new money in important ways. Of particular interest to me, Mr. Speaker, is the matter of hoof rot. Now, we don't talk about that very much on this floor, but it's an important thing. It's a disease spread among elk and sometimes deer that literally rots the hooves of the animals. Hoof rot, we're not even sure exactly why this disease spreads the way it does, but we think that poorly managed population of elk have something to do with the spread of the disease. And it is a disabling disease for the animals. It doesn't kill them directly, but it makes it hard for them to move and to graze and to eat, and they die by malnutrition or other reasons. What this amendment says is that if we're going to raise the tax anyway, let's direct some of the new money to an existing program already on the books through Washington State University that is charged with investigating hoof rot and finding out more practically why it's happening and what we can do about it. It would also direct some money in what I believe is a more productive way toward an analogous kind of work on some of our fisheries issues, Mr. Speaker. Of course, we have challenges in this state about how poorly our wildlife is managed, and we have some issues about our fisheries beyond just the culvert issue, how we manage our fisheries. Frankly, we need to get our hatchery production way up. We can't address all these matters with this new tax, but the amendment does direct some of the new tax money toward these ends for finding practical solutions to the problems that the state has let get worse in our wildlife and fish populations. Please vote yes on the amendment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Good amendment. Please vote yes. I'm going to recommend a yes vote to you for slightly different reasons than you've heard. Yes, we are playing some semantics with the notion of what an emergency is here. But more importantly, Mr. Speaker, as I've mentioned to you before in other contexts with this policy point, I think that applying the emergency clause to this policy change, this fee change, this tax increase, is going to create hardship for the Department of Fish and Wildlife. Because if it springs on people quickly that they have to start paying more for licenses under which they get less, they're going to direct their frustration and anger at the agency. And that agency already has a trust issue with hunters and fishers in this state. I think by putting this emergency on and jacking this fee and tax increase into effect faster, we're actually going to worsen that issue that Fish and Wildlife has right now with sportsmen and women around the state. Let's not do that. Let's give the agency the time to prepare everyone and maybe prepare itself for this tax increase that it will be blamed for, and get in front of the issue a little bit. This emergency clause is going to hurt Fish and Wildlife as much as it hurts individual license holders. Please vote yes. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Bad bill. Vote no. Mr. Speaker, my oldest son's close friend when he was growing up was named Hunter, much like the good gentleman from the 7th who just spoke. Literally, their names are Hunter, their first names. Mr. Speaker, hunting and fishing is essential to what it means to live in this state. It's not merely a recreation. It's how the people in most parts of this state define themselves, define their relationship with the land. We talk about the environment with the environment. Hunting and fishing is an essential expression of human coexistence with the ecosystem of the Cascades and the Pacific Northwest. It's the reason a lot of us live here, Mr. Speaker. In my district, to say that people hunt and fish is an understatement. Most do. Most grow up hunting and fishing. And as I've touched on in some of our earlier discussions on this proposal, there is a tension right now between the people who hunt and fish in Washington and the state government's Department of Fish and Wildlife. That tension is born of information on the part of the people who hunt and fish and informed criticism of how the state has managed its wildlife populations and its fisheries. We need to bridge that gap, Mr. Speaker. We need to begin to heal that split. And I'm afraid that this proposal is not going to heal that split. It's going to make that split worse. And you can say, well, it's just a few dollars, and we haven't adjusted these fees, these taxes for inflation for a long time. Mr. Speaker, that misses the point. We are heading in the wrong direction with how we approach fishing and hunting in Washington state. We need to return to where we were 30 years ago, when it was an essential and respected part of what it means to be a Washingtonian. Please vote no on this proposal.